Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here, this time reviewing on Green Lantern issue 155. Now, as you know, about 1 or 2 months ago, I did review the previous issue of Green Lantern, which had Hal a bit more cautious and a bit more afraid of a Green Lantern taking advantage of his privileges and afraid of another Sinestro. And the cover has Hal Jordan using his ring while going Star Wars with the logo. And it starts off with the Guardians talking with Hal Jordan and saying, "I do not in coordinate with the stature of the Green Lantern Corps." And he pretty much points out that he accuses Daryl from his home planet of violating the Green Lantern Code, and which he says, "Honor Guardians of the Green Lantern of the universe, and I am not allowed a chance to speak in my own behalf." And so pretty much Hal points out about how he managed to intercept a planet after finding out the locals were in danger of being killed from an active volcano, and found out that the locals were offering Daryl payment for his services, and pretty much the events leading to what it was, and even point out what happened to the chief of that home planet. And Daryl does take full responsibilities for it, so they decide to put Daryl through a test. And just as he's about to say his oath, the Guardians say it to do it in silence, which of course has Daryl going into doing his test to see if he is truly worthy. And so Hal mainly sees what's going on, and even how Jordan talks about finding a new lantern to replace Daryl. So he goes to the home planet of Daryl's and sees what's going on, and he says, "Look like these folks have mistaken me for Daryl too. And boy, he's even got his own people bringing him payoffs. And maybe that they can at least tell me where Daryl lives so I can get this over with." And of course has to kind of break the news to his family, which he finds out that he's got his own sort of big palace, and goes in and sees that he's got a family, which turns out it's the son's birthday. And so Hal Jordan realizes to his dismay and shock that it wasn't payment for his services. It was part of his culture as a thanks for doing good deeds. And even Hal realizes what a fool he's been and goes back to sort of set things right. And so Hal Jordan comes crashing in and goes in to set things right, and manages to make constructs to sort of block out the loneliness, as well as making a makeshift craft for Daryl, and pretty much sends him off, which he says, "I am free, masters. Green Lantern of Earth has dropped all charges. This we know." And so he points out that, that he's dying now, and that he regrets it for his services, but also that he's owed him nothing, which is like his way of saying that he caused this. But after the Guardian points out, saying, "Oh, does his failure agreeing to admit his error count for nothing in his life to be profit because he made a very human error?" And so he realizes that, yeah, he made a mistake. And so he manages to save Hal Jordan, and Daryl decides to help his race learn not to pay money for services, as well as now understanding what good deeds are. And so pretty much the Guardians admit that they're proud of Hal, and even talk about recharging his ring, which it's already charged, which he points out at his medial post. He did make a quick stop to charge his ring before coming back to Oa, and the Guardians admit being proud of Hal, and Hal leaves off to go back to his asteroid, outpost, knowing that he's learnt from this experience and learned about different cultures. So issue 155 is actually not too bad. You can tell Hal is in the right, but somewhere in the wrong. Yeah, he's quick to kind of assume that there's going to be another Sinestro after what happened with Sinestro, which is in the right, but is in the wrong to kind of quick to jump the gun, as keep in mind that on other planets there are different cultures to him, so it's kind of understandable that Hal would be a bit cautious, but in the wrong, handling the wrong way. So the issue deserves a thumbs up. Still good, and still alright. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.